We're starting a new series on the show today called Tampa Bay Trails. Our mission is to help you discover or maybe even rediscover some of the best places to explore nature. And this morning we are putting the spotlight on Weedon Island. In fact, history comes alive through the continual research and findings at Weedon Island Preserve in St. Petersburg. And joining me to talk about the rich history of the native people of Weedon Island are Stephanie Pego and Carla Garbin. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
Thank you for having us.
So Weedon Island, it's one of those places that I've heard, I've only been here a few years now, I have yet to go. So I want to learn everything I can right now before actually visiting to maybe reintroduce you as well. Weedon Island, where did it get its name, first off?
So Weedon Island is named after Dr. Leslie Weedon, who was one of the original owners of the property. He was actually given the property as a wedding present when he married his wife circa 1900. And he owned the property for about 25 years to 30 years before he sold it, and then when it went through a lot of different uses. But it was always given that name based on Dr. Weedon.
So 1900, though, this history goes back a lot further.
It does.
Let's talk a little bit about what we know happened on the island many, many years ago.
So Weedon Island has an ancient history that goes back thousands of years. Originally about 12 to 14,000 years ago, we knew people were already living in Florida, but then about 7,500 BC, we knew there was a culture, the archaic culture. We have some evidence that they were in Central Florida already. Their descendants, the Minnesota culture, are the people we really have the most artifacts from as living on Weedon Island.
Okay, I know we brought some artifacts. Kind of give us an idea of what we are looking at too, Stephanie.
So the Minnesota culture, they used tools because they were more of a settled people. So they had a shell tool, they had cutting tools, and a lot of these would be used to build different items that they used daily, such as dugout canoes, nets, to hunt wildlife, hunt fish. And then the Weedon Island culture is also known, of course, for their very ornate pottery. Oh. And we brought some examples of that today. Their pottery style is punctated and incised, which is unique to this culture.
Huh. Okay, so, and of course we're talking about all these wonderful findings. I think one of the best things too, of course, you can enjoy it for free, and that's where the Friends of Weedon Island come in. Explain this relationship a little bit, Carla.
Well, the Friends is, most environmental groups, cultural groups have Friends organizations, and we are the Friends of Weedon Island. And we were, in 1991, we incorporated, but prior to that, all the way through, there was a Weedon Island Advisory Group that was an informal group that advocated and worked very hard to make sure that there were education and preservation and conservation at the preserve, and actually was very, very involved in the county's activities. Barbara Sheen Todd, who was Pinellas County Commissioner, Connie Cohn, who was a St. Petersburg council member, were very, very active in advocating with the state and the county to get Weedon Island where it is today.
And of course, we're looking at pictures right now as well. You saw there on your screen. We mentioned that this is, of course, a free event too, which we can't say enough, but I want to get both of your thoughts on this one. For you, why did you want to become a Friends of Weedon Island? What was it about Weedon Island so special to you?
Well, I started down there as a seasonal person, and I went in, used to hike there all the time. And I went in thinking, geez, this would be a nice place to volunteer. I wonder if I could do it being seasonal. Well, then I learned that, yeah, and you could be a volunteer, and being a volunteer got me involved with Friends, and I'm a docent and a hike guide out there, and then through Friends, you have this opportunity to find ways to fund the activities at Weedon. So Friends, for example, this year we'll bring about 1,000 kids from Title I schools out on full day field trips.
And you have kayaking too?
Well, yeah, we do have. Well, there's our mangrove tunnels, and there's the kayaking, and it's great.
Basically, a lot of stuff to check out. So again, thank you to the both of you for joining us today. We want to put the information up so you can discover or rediscover Weedon Island Preserve. There's the information on your screen, including the website. We didn't even get to address the snake that was looking at me all second. Darn, I left that out. Thanks, ladies.